Welcome back to the Crude Project, everyone. I'm here with Ant and Kevin the 2 Cent, and as always, we've got a great episode for you guys. We've got Iran attacking Israel. But before we get to that, guys, if you like the content, if you get any value from it, like, subscribe, and share to all your friends, family. Go over to our Spotify channel. Follow us on Spotify for a great commute listen. And that out of the way, let's get to it, man.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be a quick overview. Iran has spiked up some attacks towards Israel. This happened earlier in the month.
So first, this was a retaliatory attack on Israel from Iran. Israel, I believe, attacked. It was an embassy of Iran. Yeah, in Damascus, Syria, and I believe they killed about, I think it was roughly 10 generals or so, military service members of Iranians, and also other people that were working in the embassy, Iranian. So this was an unexpected attack, and this was a unprovoked attack, apparently, that Israel launched on that embassy of Iran. And they apparently did not get any sort of, I guess, condemning, Other nations did not condemn it. Western nations did not condemn Israel for attacking Iranian embassy and killing all of those people. Now, as a result, Iran, they said, you know what, let the month of Ramadan finish, and we will respond accordingly. And they did respond accordingly. They launched over 300 drones towards Israel, bombing Israel, but it was a
strategic attack.
It was a strategic attack, because the thing is, they didn't launch the drones towards civilian infrastructure or anywhere that was populated, like civilian population,
Yeah.
because they apparently, this was what the report said, that Iran deliberately avoided any area that they would cause any sort of mass casualty towards civilians, Israeli civilians, and they specifically targeted outskirts of Israeli land, where it was basically their bases. So they targeted near any sort of military bases, and Israel reported that they intercepted nearly all of the rockets that were launched at Israel. Yeah, Israel and U.S. reported this, that they have intercepted, and that they said Israel, I think they said there was only one casualty, and that one casualty was a little girl being injured, and that she will be fine, she will recover.
Oh, so it wasn't an actual casualty then?
No, it wasn't an actual casualty. It was just one injury of just one little girl. I think Israel reported this, and they said she's fine and she will be fine. She'll have a fast recovery or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So it was the only thing is, there was this, what did not make sense to me was that the Biden administration and all of the Western nations immediately jumped on attacking Iran, in the sense of Iran bad. Because they said Iran should not have attacked Israel like this. And not to forget that simultaneously, while Iran launched over 300 drones at Israel, simultaneously, Hezbollah group from south of Lebanon also launched, I think it was somewhere around over 40 drones of theirs that they launched on Israel. And that, they said, the Hezbollah group said, it was in retaliation to the consistent bombing of Israel in the south of Lebanon. So apparently, Israel has been bombing, and this is a fact. Al Jazeera has been covering this. Israel has been bombing consistently south of Lebanon from I believe it was right after the October 7th attack on Israel. They have been consistently bombing it since then. And that's kind of going unreported. Nobody's saying anything to Israel like, hey, man, why are you bombing south of Lebanon like this, or stop, or whatever. But basically, there's little to no condemning from the Western nations towards Israel for any sort of attack that they are launching on Lebanon, on Syria, on obviously Gaza, and
now Iran.
Yeah, and now on Iran. And so nobody's saying, they should stop, because they're bombing like
we're kind of, as the U.S., we're kind of backing Israel in a very tight way. And Iran, they after Biden came out and they was like, Iran, don't. And then he left, and Iran is now threatening us, saying look, if you guys get involved, you're going to be targeted. And it's like, I don't think we need another situation, right? With everything we have going on, it is a horrible situation that's going on out there. And to know the ins and out, I feel like you'd have to almost be military personnel would be the only thing you would really cover. But what we see on the news and everything, this is getting really heated.
It is.
Some people are saying this is. A lot of people always say this is the turn. Like when Russia was getting really heated with us, they were saying, "Oh, this is World War." This is another one of those peak moments where people are now saying this could be the start of World War III. And if we get involved, I mean, we're in there like swimwear. That's it. There's no, once we get in, I don't think there's any way to back out. I think it's going to be a problem.
No, I totally agree. The thing is that people underestimate Israel's influence on U.S. and that how likely it is that Israel will drag U.S. into a World War III. It's highly likely.
I could see it. I mean, how much we've backed them on everything else, and it seems just at the end we started to double back and to try and help Gaza, the Gaza Strip, at the very end when there's literally much of nothing left there. Yeah. Now we're building a port, trying to send supplies, but it's like when we put eyes, the U.S. puts eyes on one spot. Well, now they just kind of go to another. Yeah, and we all hope for not a World War III,
obviously not. I mean, dude, that will be catastrophic. But the thing is, Biden could have made a much better speech and a much better, statement that
other than
could have calmed some people down. Yeah. Instead of causing now more, I guess, panic and creating more questions for people. Because when he was asked in a press conference, what is his response to Iran attacking Israel, he was just dude just stood there. He like he was lost, and he just said, "Don't." And then later on, he, I guess, put out a statement saying that in the G7 summit, can you pull up when the G7 summit is? He said in the G7 summit that's coming up, I believe it's in June of some.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be June of this year, and the 13th or something like that.
Yeah. The 13th to the 15th. It's going to be hosted in the southeastern part of Italy. Let's see, Puglia region. June 13th through the 15th. So G7 summit, he said he'll respond to Iran. What the hell does that mean?
That's kind of a far way away.
It is. I mean, we're in April. June? You're going to respond to Iran in June? At the G7 summit?
It's literally it's 2 months away. June, I think, is too far. I don't really know, not a general speculation, but I could see if things continue by June, it's going to be in a much worse state than we are now. The way things are going, and like what we saw earlier, where Kim Jong is even saying now is the time for war. But I mean, this guy is also a communist, and he said this a few times before. Not to say all communist countries are always down to tussle, but it's not the first time that the dictator there has stated, "Oh, time for war." Like when we were poking the bear of Korea.
True.
There was time where like, oh, maybe time for a war.
Right. But it's also funny that you mentioned that if things could get worse, because that reminds me of this other point that I saw that someone credible made. And this was basically a point about that Iran's attack on Israel this time around was a very thought out, pre-planned, and strategic attack.
What do you mean?
Well, it's speculated that they did this on purpose, and they already expected that most of their missiles will be shot down. But they took that all into account. Why did they take that into account? Because they were counting on it, because their goal was not to attack and cause any sort of destruction and any sort of destruction to the Israeli state, but it was more so of like deplete their military arsenal this time around.
Oh, they wanted to lower the resources of the Iron Dome.
Exactly.
So if a future attack were to come, they can't block as many. Yeah,
because for people who think that Iran is a pushover and that they don't have a strong military, they don't have the resources, you are gravely mistaken. Iran has been stockpiling for a while. They have a whole lot of resources, and they have intercontinental ballistic missiles. They have they have all the ammunition and weapons to go to war with a full-scale war with U.S. and possibly even win the war. That's how strong they are currently, because they have been stockpiling.
Well, also Israel. I mean, they can't have a huge supply. Saying how much that they have been throwing out. Yeah, they've got to be running on a lower. I mean, they've been going for over a year now.
And that's the thing, because Iran already counted on this, because they knew the fact that U.S. has been backing Ukraine and Israel on both fronts, and not to mention Taiwan. They have been supplying them as well with self-defense ammunitions and all this. The naval ships. Military naval ships and everything. They have been supplying both on all three fronts. Iran knows that U.S. does not have the means to continue that supply chain of military ammunition.
Oh, boy.
And if they are going to continue, it's not as much.
Yeah.
So we are running low on our military supplies, basically. And so Iran is counting on that, and they're not, apparently. Iran is not, apparently. And for people like Senator Lindsey Graham and Nikki Haley, who are literally just warmongering people in the United States government, someone needs to shut them up, honestly. Like, dog,
those are the people who are going to get us right into war.
Exactly. Those are the people that keep saying, oh, we need to hit Iran hard and we need to attack them directly. We need to shut them up. We need to show them that we are no pushovers. We need to show them that they need to know
the big power.
Basically, that they need to know their place, and they should stop provoking us and stop trying to attack Israel and stop Iran's proxy wars, this and that. Dude, stop. Like, Iran won't attack you if you continue to not provoke them and attack them. Like Israel attacking their embassy.
Yeah.
That was unprovoked. So when you do shit like that, obviously you are going to expect some kind of retaliation, And apparently, Iran did attack. All of the retaliatory attack was according to the UN Charter, Article 51. So it was all justified. And so they're basically within the international laws of how they attacked. So they're not breaking any sort of international law when they attacked Israel. So that's all we know so far. I mean,
it's another one of those trying times.
Yeah.
Got to keep an eye on this sort of situation because, like we're saying, this is pretty volatile. With so many hands and so many moving parts with this right now, this could get really messy really fast with so many major powers that could just come in at any moment and just be like, swoop.
Agreed.
Russia all of a sudden just says, wow, what a good time. Swoop.
Exactly. And China, what a good time. Was North Korea, what a good time. We need to stop poking the bears. That's all I'm saying. Yep. We need to worry about our well-being. We need to stop supporting Israel. We need to stop supporting their genocidal acts. We need to worry about ourselves. Yep. We need to defend our borders. We need to defend ourselves. U.S. comes first, period. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's how it should be. That's how we should be doing things until we're back on our feet. But
yeah,
I guess everyone just keep eyes on this sort of situation. It's very scary, but it's better to be in the know than be surprised.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's all we had for this developing story. If you got any value from this content, if it made you think, if it was thought-provoking, if we provided any sort of information that you did not know before, like, subscribe, share the content. Go over to our Spotify channel and follow us on Spotify for a great commute listen. And as always,
see you guys.
Peace out.